I just crashed into the wall. Just set this back a bit. Okay, so the purpose of this video is literally just to see if I can speak without any edits, without any cuts. Because the thing is, I don't really watch YouTube videos where it cuts to different things. I just kind of like this type of video where there's a guy speaking. It's not perfect. Sometimes he stumbles on words. Sometimes he looks a bit weird in the camera. Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't look very good. But that's what I kind of like. I like the office. I can't say the word. You know what I mean? And for a long time, I've been making these videos where I purposely edit things out. So let's say I stumbled on a word, like I did before. I edit it out and I re-say it. Like it'd be like, oh, office. I can't say that word. Office. I keep doing it over again and again. And what this ends up happening is a video where it's too edited, and I feel like the viewer can't really fully relate to what I'm saying because it's so edited. I don't sound human. So I just want to practice this because I've never really done it to this extent before, where I've fully gone into it. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, I've tried this before, but when I try, I still kind of cope in a way. So I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fully do it with no editing or anything, and then when I go to editing, I just edit anyway. So that's the idea. Now I will warn you, my camera randomly turns off, and if it does that, I will also have to edit. Basically, the reason why it does that is because my phone is connected to my computer, just so it's easier about like transferring stuff over. But the problem with that is it disconnects, and when it disconnects, you can't then. You know what I mean? It just cuts off, and you can't really do much about it. So if it does that, and it's too bad, I will probably have to do edits, but hopefully not. Now, I was thinking like, what could I speak about just to practice this? Because I'm waiting for a friend right now, and I've got a bit of time just to like chill. It's currently 2 a.m., 2:08, so pretty late. The thing is, like, I've been thinking a lot about this channel recently, and I know, like, at the start of this year, I said I was gonna upload every single day, and I still want to get to that point. I'm not gonna give up on that. But I was thinking, like, how can I motivate myself to actually do it? Because the thing is, I enjoy this. This is something I find really fun. I find it really purposeful because I know I've at least helped one person, and that's good. But there's something in my mind that stops me from recording videos, and I know really it's insecurity. And when I first came back to university for the first 2 weeks, I believe it was, I recorded some videos where it was more like day in the life type videos where I went to the gym. And like I've said before, I don't agree with filming whilst with people in the room because it's just disrespectful. So I would wait until no one was there, and I'd film like, oh, this is me doing whatever I'm doing. And it felt really personal doing that, but the problem I had was my life became just rushing around, trying to look cool, basically. So I wouldn't stop and speak to people like I used to, which I do now. So right now, go into a cafe, I go and say hello to the person who's like making the coffee, whatever. But back when I was doing this, I would just rush, and it got to the point where I was so antisocial that I just didn't really speak to anybody. Like for example, I'll give you an example, right? If my roommates are in the kitchen, I'll go in there and speak to them. When I was doing this for the first 2 weeks, I was so in a rush to make videos that I would just pretend they weren't there and walk off. And it's just like, why would you want to do that when these are people who want to speak to you, you want to speak to them. And it's like, you shouldn't have your earphones in when someone's speaking to you, which I live by. But when I was doing this, because I was in such a rush, I would just leave my earphones in. So the thing is, I want to kind of do this again at some point, but I'm going to do it in a different way to what I did back then. One of the things I was thinking about doing was possibly beginning each video like this, where I'm speaking. Then it cuts to me going off, doing some stuff. Then I don't record everything, obviously. I go and speak to people, do my normal life, and I edit them all together, kind of like this. So it's uncut, as in I don't really have random cuts everywhere. But for example, I wouldn't really record me walking to a destination because I could easily just speak to people and actually communicate. Just like, right, I'm going to meet a friend in a few minutes or so, and back when I was doing this, I wouldn't, because I would be like, oh, I need to look cool and record content. And now I can be like, yeah, I'm going to go and do that for a bit, and that just wouldn't be shown basically in the video if I was going to do that. Now, one thing I was thinking is maybe it's a good idea to wait until I have a car, because a lot of the video you could, because fair enough, like you're not gonna drive with your phone like that, but I mean, like you see those people where they have the phone attached to something, they drive and just speak. I could drive to a gym further away, for example, and speak, and I would probably take about 10 minutes, which would be perfect. But I'm not too sure, to be honest. For some context, the reason why I was actually thinking about doing this was because when you see people in this like niche of YouTube, they're already successful and they're kind of like, oh, this is my day-to-day life. But I want to show like from the beginning, because I'm not successful. I'm more successful than I used to be. I used to be this bombset kid who had no purpose in life, but I'm still on my way, and I don't think I'm very good at much stuff in life. So to see someone go from being like who I am now to hopefully one day successful, whatever you call success, I think it'll be good content. And I think it'll, like, my younger self needed someone to kind of inspire him to even try. And that's kind of what I want to be. I will always be very transparent though. I do want to make money. And I know a lot of people try to stay away from that because it's not cool to say. But the truth is, I want a better future for my children. And now I'm only 19. I don't plan on having kids until like 30. But I don't want to sit there and pretend I don't have that responsibility. Because I know what will happen if I don't. I'll be like 27 and I want to have children, but I don't have enough money and my job's too in the way. And I get to the point where I'm too stressed about it. I'd rather start now when I don't have the responsibility, work hard on multiple things, do this, maybe get into a career if it goes to plan. And by that point, I will have some level of success where I can help my children have a better life. And saying that, I didn't come from a very bad family. Like, we were kind of like working class. And I was very privileged growing up. I'm not saying I was like deprived of food or anything, but I feel like that's the point of a family, is to make it easier for the next level up. And I think in a way, like if I do have kids in the future, if they can see that their dad going from someone who isn't very successful to someone who's decent, it would probably inspire them to keep going, and that's kind of what I want to do. So yeah, my view on money is, it's kind of like money can be good or evil, and depending on how you use it, it changes. I feel like the school system kind of corrupts it a bit, and to say like, oh, businessmen are evil and stuff. It's like, yes, some of them are. Most wars are caused by money. But the thing is, it's like, you can do well, you can donate to charities. And I will do that. If I do ever make loads of money, I will find a charity I actually care about and I will donate to it. But yeah, so I think this was relatively successful. I think when you get into the flow of speaking, it's decent. But yeah. So hopefully this came useful in some way. I don't know how long this is gonna be. I can check actually. 9 minutes. And that will be fully 9 minutes. So it won't be like edited down, because I'm not gonna edit this. Hopefully not, unless it's really bad. But that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? So yeah. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye.